Hello students, good evening all of you. Can you hear me? Yes, guys and girls, can you hear me? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes? Okay, fine. Thank you. So in the last class, we have discussed about chemical properties of 15th group elements, right? And there are some important compounds of 15th group are there, like nitrogen, ammonia, nitrogen and its oxides, and phosphorus, about phosphorus oxyacids. That and all we'll start discuss now. So the first compound I'm taking is dinitrogen. Dinitrogen. What is the formula of this? N2. Okay. Dinitrogen. You know about nitrogen. Nitrogen is the highly abundant gas on this Earth atmosphere, right? Nearly 78% of this atmospheric gases consist of this nitrogen, right? So here in this dinitrogen, preparation methods we'll see now. Preparation methods. Okay, in that the first method I'm taking is atmospheric air. What I'm choosing? Atmospheric air. Atmospheric air on liquefaction. Liquefaction concept, you know, the gaseous are converting into liquid. What is mean by liquefaction? Liquefaction is nothing but a gas is converting into its liquid form. So nitrogen gas in atmospheric air that converts to nitrogen liquid. So if you do liquefaction, you will get both nitrogen liquid and oxygen liquid. Okay, nitrogen and oxygen liquid. So here nitrogen is prepared, and here this nitrogen they were separated by, okay, and here I am writing they are separated by fractional distillation. Fractional distillation. So generally nitrogen and oxygen are separated by fractional distillation, because during the fractional distillation they should have, it is due to, why fractional distillation we are doing is due to difference in their boiling points. Difference in their boiling points. So here nitrogen will have around 77.5 kelvins, and oxygen boiling point is around 90 kelvins. So due to this difference in their boiling points, they can be easily separated by using fractional distillation technique. Okay. So first take atmospheric air. Air contains the majority of these two gases. So they get condensed. They convert into liquefaction, liquids on liquefaction, and they were separated by. Okay. Here I'll write. They were separated by fractional distillation. How fractional distillation works? When there is a, due to difference in their boiling points, and their boiling point difference is like this. Okay. This is nitrogen preparation first method. Okay. Next we'll move to second method, laboratory method, or we simply call lab method. So here in lab method, ammonium chloride One second. Ammonium chloride on reaction with sodium nitride. Nitrite. What is this? Sodium nitrite. Okay. Upon heating, so what you are going to get is your main compound nitrogen and sodium chloride. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Main compound your nitrogen, sodium chloride, and water molecules. 2 moles of H2O if I'll take. Is it satisfied? 2 nitrogens, 1 sodium chloride, 4 H2, 1 oxygen. Yes, fine. So here nitrogen gas is released in this reaction. So it is a lab method. That means only small scale preparation of nitrogen. This is okay. Note down this. Okay. After finishing these two, next very important, many times appeared in mains exam. Okay. Decomposition of ammonium dichromate. Decomposition of ammonium dichromate. So here, what is potassium dichromate? K2Cr2O7. Here ammonium dichromate means in the place of K2 you have NH42. NH42Cr2O7. On strong heating, nitrogen gas release takes place and Cr2O3. Okay, and H2. Okay. Is this balanced now? Yes. Okay. So decomposition of ammonium dichromate will gives you nitrogen as a main product. Okay. Next one, fourth one. Okay. Decomposition of barium azide. So azides are nothing but N3 molecules. N3. Actually BaCl2. Okay. So azides are 2 times. This is called barium azide. On strong heating of barium azide, this one, you will get your nitrogen gas and barium formation. So this is about nitrogen for preparation methods, and these 3 are important. Previously the question was asked like this: which of the following chemical reaction does not produces nitrogen gas? So 1, 2, 3. These 3 were, and another fourth option is given differently. So their question is, which of the following does not produces nitrogen gas on decomposition? So they made different combinations. We have to choose the wrong one. Okay, does not made. Next, we'll move to properties. Okay, so properties of nitrogen. Properties of nitrogen. Here, nitrogen is a colorless, odorless gas. It is a colorless, odorless gas. And nitrogen is inert. It is also said to be an inert gas. Reason nitrogen is having triple bond. So here this breaking of triple bond. Okay, nitrogen is having a triple bond. So bond enthalpy is very high. That's what it won't react much. Okay, very high. Normally its chemical properties are very less. Okay, so it normally does not react. So bond enthalpy is very high. So if it wants to get react, okay, high temperatures are only needed. Okay, at low temperatures it is not possible. Okay, and here your nitrogen is colorless, odorless gas, and it is inert in nature. N triple bond N, and it is having triple bond and having high bond enthalpy. Okay, and I can also say it is a tasteless. It is a tasteless gas, and it is also a non-toxic gas. Tasteless and non-toxic gas, and it is having two types of isotopes. What are they? Nitrogen 714, one isotope, and other one is nitrogen 715. Two different with two different mass numbers. Nitrogen existing is having two isotopes: nitrogen 749, nitrogen 715. These are the two isotopes of nitrogen. Next, please note down these methods. Next, nitrogen chemical properties if we discuss. Preparation methods over, its physical properties are also over, and chemical properties. Now, the first one is reaction with metals. Since it is more electronegative, it reacts with the first and second group metals. Metals means first group, second group mostly. When it reacts with lithium on reaction with nitrogen, it will give you Li3N. Li3N. So what is the name of this? Lithium nitride. That means the nitrogen is in -3 oxidation state. Lithium nitride, nitrogen is in -3 oxidation state. Next, magnesium, if it reacts with magnesium, it will convert to magnesium nitride, Mg3N2. Okay, Mg3N2. 6 Mg, 4 nitrogens. Okay, so what is the name of this? Magnesium nitride. Is that fine? Second one, second chemical property, reaction with oxygen. Reaction with oxygen. So are you listening, guys? So here, on reaction with oxygen, nitrogen on reaction with oxygen, it establishes equilibrium. So it will converting into, okay, nitrogen monoxide. Okay. So this is what NO formation takes place. Next, another chemical properties we will discuss. So normally, what is the point here? Nitrogen is having triple bond, so high bond enthalpy. To make it react, you have to use high temperatures. Okay, na? High temperatures are compulsory. Delta means it is a temperature, high temperature. Next, the third one is most important. Reaction with hydrogen. When nitrogen reacts with hydrogen, okay, it will give you ammonia, and it is an exothermic reaction, kilojoules per mole amount of energy releases. This negative sign indicates what? This reaction is exothermic. This reaction is exothermic. So balance this equation. N2 plus 3H2 is converting into 2 moles of ammonia. And here you have to use some high temperatures like 700 Kelvin and pressure nearly 200 atmosphere. And it is a preparation method of ammonia, in fact. Okay. And the name of this method is called ammonia Haber's process, or Haber's process of ammonia preparation. Ammonia Haber's process. Okay, reaction with hydrogen, it is producing ammonia. Okay, and its process is also called as ammonia Haber's process or Haber's process. And the reaction is exothermic, minus 46.1 kilojoules of per mole. That means to prepare 1 mole of ammonia, that much amount of energy releases. Okay, so these are the chemical properties of nitrogen. Now its uses, if you see, I'm talking about nitrogen uses. Okay, so the first most important of nitrogen is it is used to prepare ammonia. First point, because known factor. Second one, it is used to, okay, it is used to preserve. It is used to preserve biological specimens. So mainly liquid nitrogen is used, okay, liquid nitrogen, and its temperature is minus 196 degree, nearly minus 196. So at this temperature, the biological, whatever the species are there, their activity becomes completely brought down to zero at very, very low temperature. Okay, so its activity becomes zero. That's what at very low temperature studies. Okay, it is also used to low temperature studies. Low temperature studies. So that studies are called as cryogenic studies. Suppose liver or heart transplantation or some type of vaccines, they are all kept in, okay, a cylinder which contains a nitrogen liquid at very low temperature. So that activity will be zero. So during this, heart transportation from Bangalore to Hyderabad, so they will use liquid nitrogen storage only. Okay, it is mainly used as a storage for biological specimens. If a dead body, some people wants to preserve their dead bodies even after their death. So mostly happens in US. There are hundreds of dead bodies which are preserved by using liquid nitrogen. Okay. So it is also used in cryogenic studies. And third one, you might heard about cryogenic engines also. It is mainly used in rockets. So here, nitrogen is also used as a rocket fuel. It is also used as rocket fuel. Because nitrogen is having triple bond, when you break that, you will get a high amount of energy. That energy can be used as a, thrusting or pushing of your rockets. So that is used as a threshold energy for rocket lifting. So it is also used as rocket fuel. And mostly it is used as to create this liquid nitrogen is used to create inert atmosphere. Inert atmosphere. inert atmosphere. Suppose if you want to create a inert atmosphere, that means there won't be any gaseous. But to create inert atmosphere, it is very difficult. That's what they will first pump nitrogen gas into that container or packet. So all other gases will lift that area, and that is occupied by nitrogen gas. Since nitrogen is mostly inert, it will not react that much fastly. That's what nitrogen is used as an inert atmosphere. Mostly food packets, your Kurkure, Lays, okay. These packets were mostly filled with nitrogen gas, so that food material which is there in it may not contain that, contaminate that much easily. If oxygen is present in that, you cannot store your food for longer duration. So you have to remove oxygen from that packets and pump nitrogen gas. And since nitrogen is very having less reactivity, it will not spoil your food items. So that's what nitrogen is also used to create inert atmosphere in food industry. Mostly in food industry. Even in laboratory also they will use. So these are the advantages of uses of nitrogen. Okay. Okay, please note on them. Okay, shall I rub this? So this is complete about your nitrogen, dinitrogen. Okay. Next we'll move to another important fifth group compound, that is ammonia. What is that? Ammonia. What is the formula of ammonia? NH3. What is the formula of ammonia? NH3. So mostly nitrogen is present in soil. Mostly nitrogen is present in soil, and some percentage, very less percentage, is also present in the air. Okay. So here, this ammonia present in, okay, present small amounts in soil and air. So it is mainly prepared from urea. It's mainly in the form of urea. Actually, in the soil, it is mainly in the form of urea. So the first method is preparation. Now we'll talk about preparation methods. Preparation methods. The first method I'm talking about is from urea. What is the formula of urea? NH2 C double bond O NH2. This is urea. Urea on react with atmospheric moisture, that is nothing but water. It will convert to ammonium carbonate, NH4 2CO3. NH4 to CO3. And this on decomposition, you will get your ammonia plus carbon dioxide, okay, H2. How many? 2 H2s, CO2. Is that clear? Yes. So you are getting your ammonia. Okay. So from urea, how we'll prepare that? Urea on reacts with atmospheric moisture, converts to ammonium carbonate. When this ammonium carbonate decomposes, you will get your ammonia and some byproducts. We don't want this. Your main product is this. Next, it is also prepared from ammonium salts. From ammonium salts. It is also prepared from ammonium salts. Like main example is ammonium chloride on reacts with ammonium salts, ammonia chloride reaction with this calcium hydroxide. Okay, what you're going to get? Ammonia main product. Other one is calcium chloride, and other product is water. Okay. If you take 2 moles of this, 2 moles of ammonia, is this balanced? Okay, check this. Okay, from ammonium salt, ammonium chloride on reaction with calcium hydroxide, it will give you main product ammonia and some byproducts. Next, this ammonium sulfate NH4 2SO4 also you can take on reaction with the caustic soda. What is formula of caustic soda? Sodium hydroxide. What is the name of this? Caustic soda. So why it is called caustic soda? Can anyone answer this? Why sodium hydroxide is called caustic soda? Because it is having some corrosive properties. Corrosive, rusting properties easily. So that's what it is named as caustic soda. So here the formula on ammonium sulfate on reaction with the caustic soda, you will get ammonia and Na2SO4 plus H2O. Okay, 2 moles if you take. So here 2 nitrogens, 2 moles of Na2SO4. Okay. It's balanced now. Okay. Balancing, mostly you try to answer the products. Balancing can be done easily if you spend a little extra time. You can easily do the balancing also. So that you have to practice during your preparation time. Okay. So ammonia can be also prepared from its salts, ammonium salts. On large scale production of ammonia, if you take, okay. So this is mainly from ammonium salts. So the amount of ammonia you are getting is small, very small scale preparation. Small scale preparation only. That means small amount of ammonia is released in these cases. If you want to move for large scale preparation of ammonia, large scale preparation of ammonia can be done by which method? Industrial method. That is mostly large scale preparation means industrial method. Huge amounts of ammonia cases. So the main process of this is, what is that name? Ammonia. Just now we have done here in ammonia Haber's process. Ammonia Haber's process. Preparation method of ammonia Haber's process. Very, very, very important that is. Okay. Next one. Here, what is the ammonia Haber's process? Nitrogen on reaction with 3 moles of hydrogen that produces N2 plus 3H2 is converting into 2 moles of ammonia, and delta H here is how much? Minus 46.1 kilojoules per mole. That means to make 1 mole of ammonia, this much energy is releases. Here, this negative sign indicates what? It is an exothermic reaction. Large amount of energy, exothermic reaction. High amount of energy releases in this process. Okay, here we need to discuss few more extra. This we have done earlier also. N2 plus 3H is converting into 2 moles of ammonia. Here this reaction generally happens at a high temperature, 700 kelvins, and a high pressure. What is that high pressure? Nearly 200 atmospheric pressure. So for this reaction, how much temperature they are providing? 700 Kelvin. It is a high temperature. High. And the pressure. Pressure is how much? 200 into 10 power 5. I'm writing bigger only. So video is clear or not? It's fine, clear. Okay. I'll try it a little bit further. Okay. 10 for 5 pascals. Or this is also pressure 200 into 10 power 5 is also equal to 200 atmospheric pressure. And the catalyst used in this reaction, very, very important. Catalyst used in this reaction is Fe2O3. Fe2O3, iron oxide. Okay. So here in this process, small amounts of, very important point, these are small amounts of K2O and Al2O3, this point is important, are added why it is added? To establish, okay? Why it is added? It is added to establish early equilibrium. Okay. In this process, small amounts of K2O and Al2O3 is also added to establish early equilibrium. Okay. So in this process, so these are the points. Earlier, in the early days, iron is used as a catalyst and molybdenum is used as promoter. Okay, so this is about Haber's process of ammonia. It is a large scale preparation of ammonia. Nitrogen on reaction with hydrogen gives you 2 moles of ammonia. It is an exothermic process. Temperature is this much, pressure is 200, and the catalyst used is Fe2O3, and small amounts of K2 and Al2O3 is also added. Why they are adding? To establish early equilibrium. Okay, equilibrium is within less time equilibrium is attained. That is the reason why they are using this. But during the early days of preparation of ammonia, iron is commonly used as a catalyst and molybdenum is a promoter. Okay, so this is about Haber's ammonia process. Please note down that. So this is about the preparation methods. Next we'll move to its properties. Shall I rub this? Okay, here next its properties. So what are the properties of ammonia? Ammonia is a colorless, okay, it's a colorless, okay, pungent smell. It is a colorless pungent smell gas, okay, ammonia. So here if you observe their physical state, nitrogen is a gas, hydrogen is a gas, ammonia is also gas. Okay, so it is a colorless, pungent smelling gas. Okay, so here ammonia is used as refrigerant. Means these gases are used in refrigerators, cooling purpose they will use. Okay, colorless pungent smell gas, and it is used as a refrigerant. And nitrogen, ammonia, if you take, and one lone pair simply present on nitrogen head. Okay, so here if you talk about nitrogen hybridization, what is the hybridization of nitrogen? 1, 2, 3 sigma bonds, one lone pair, total 4 sp3 hybridization. Okay, you know how to solve this hybridization? Sigma bonds plus lone pair, that's it. 3 sigma bonds are there, one lone pair is there, total 4. 4 hybrid orbitals containing hybridization is sp3, 1 s orbital, 3 p orbitals, total 4. So here ammonia is having sp3 hybridization, sp3 hybridization, and in this how many bond pairs are there? 3 bond pairs, okay, with one lone pair, 3 bond pairs and with one lone pair. And what is the structure of this? It is having pyramidal structure. Pyramidal structure. Okay. So what is the bond angle here? If you see, bond angle is 107 degrees or 107.5. 107 degrees 5 minutes. If you can also write like this. So it is having sp3 hybridization, pyramidal structure, and 107.5 degree. Okay. So this is about the properties of ammonia. Now it's chemical properties we'll discuss. So here I'll write its chemical properties. Okay. And one more important point I'll write here. This ammonia, due to the presence of lone pair, due to the presence of lone pair, okay, it acts as what? It acts as Lewis acid or base? It acts as Lewis base. What is a Lewis base? Electron pair donor. Electron pair donors are called Lewis bases. So due to the presence of this lone pair, it can easily donate its lone pair to some other atoms. So here it acts as a Lewis base. So the chemical property, the first chemical property I'm writing here, ammonia is highly soluble in water. And due to this nitrogen and hydrogen polarity difference, it can form hydrogen bonds also. Okay. So ammonia is highly soluble in water because polar. It is also polar compound. This is also polar compound, soluble in water. So if you take that equation, ammonia on reaction with the H2O, equilibrium establishes between these two. You will get NH4 plus and OH minus. So due to this composition, it acts as weak base. It acts as weak base. Why it acts as weak base? Due to hydroxyl ion composition. This ammonium hydroxide on reaction with ammonium ion on reaction with these two things, okay? On reaction with acids like, suppose if you take HCl, it will form ammonium salts, NH4Cl, NH4 plus and Cl minus, NH4Cl, and here H plus and OH minus, that becomes water. So what is forming? They are forming ammonium salts. Suppose the same composition, NH4 plus OH minus on reaction with sulfuric acid, suppose H2SO4. What it is going to form? Ammonium sulfate, NH4 to SO4. That means 2 moles we have to take here, and here 2 moles of H2O is formed, OH minus. This total 2 moles I am taking. So 2 hydrogens, 2 oxygens, H2. So what they are forming, look at this, if you observe these two, they were forming ammonium salts. Ammonium salts they are forming. Is it clear? So ammonia is highly soluble in water, and this solution, this aqueous solution, okay, this is called an aqueous solution, AQ. Aqueous because the water is mixed with it. It acts as a weak base, and when it reacts with acids, it will form ammonium salts. So here, this is the first case. And second case, in the same composition, reacts with metal salts. When they exactly reacts with the metal salts, it precipitates their hydroxides. Okay, metal salt, if you take, suppose zinc sulfate, okay, it precipitates zinc hydroxide and ammonium sulfate. Zinc hydroxide and ammonium sulfate. So I am taking 2 moles here. So what is this? It is a precipitation. Precipitation is forming, PPT simply says. Next, ammonium ion and hydroxyl ion, these together, when it reacts with this metal salts, FeCl2 like, okay, it will also form metal oxides, metal hydrated oxides, Fe2O3 and X moles of water, and here ammonium chloride, NH4Cl. So here if you observe what is formed, it is a metal oxide with hydrated, right? So here I call it as hydrated. It will also form hydrated metal oxides. Hydrated metal oxides also it will form. Okay, please note down these chemical properties. The first one. Next, when second one, if you take, so it is mostly due to the complex formation capacity of ammonium ions. Ammonium, it is used as a metal detector. Okay, so I'll write the point here. Ammonia is used for identification of metal ions. So mostly it is used for copper plus 2 and Ag plus ions. Ammonia is used for identification of metal ions. Okay, by forming complex compounds. By forming complex compounds. Suppose if you have metal copper plus 2 on reaction with ammonia, so it will form a type of complex CuNH3 4 times. Okay, so this is having, it forms a blue color complex. So this blue coloration of the complex formation indicates that this is a copper plus 2 cation. Okay. Next, these are all aqueous only. Aqueous solution I am taking. This is also aqueous. Next, Ag plus on reaction with the chloride ions, 2 moles if I am taking, 1 mole only. This is also aqueous. This is also aqueous. So here what you are going to get, AgCl precipitation you are going to get. So what is this color of AgCl precipitation? It is a white PPT. PPT means precipitation. Okay. So when AgCl precipitate further reacts with ammonia, 2 moles I am taking here. So it also forms a complexation with this. Okay, so this type of complexity is formed. Okay, and this is a white color and this compound is colorless complex. Okay, so this is how ammonia is used to identification of metal ions by forming complexes. Copper, first application, and second application of silver. So please note on them. Is this over? So this is complete about chemical properties of ammonia. Next we'll move to its uses. First we are talking about its preparation. Say take nitrogen for example. Its preparation we have done, its properties, then its chemical properties, then its uses. Here also ammonia. First its preparation methods, then properties, then chemical properties. Next, uses. So here, ammonia uses. Keep the next slide reading. Ammonia uses. So first, four more important is ammonia. It is used as, this is also used as refrigerator. Used as refrigerator. It is used in manufacturing of instead of manufacturing, it's not a physical, used in fertilizers. So mainly the fertilizer in combination with ammonia. So they are ammonium sulfates, ammonium phosphates, why ammonia, NH3, nitrogen is a primary nutrition for the plants. What are the primary nutrition for the plant? So plants generally requires what? NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. That's what urea is extensively used in agriculture. right? So it is one of the major primary nutrient of the plants. So ammonium sulfate, ammonium phosphate. So nitrogen and phosphorus, both are here now. Okay. Next, it is used in the manufacturing of, used in HNO3 manufacturing. Used in HNO3 manufacturing. So these are the uses of ammonia. You can also, ammonia is also used in which method? Also used in urea preparation and also used in ammonium nitrate preparation. So these are the best uses of ammonia. Please note down them. So this is about your two compounds we have completed, nitrogen and HNO3. Is it clear? Next, please note down them. Next, we'll move to oxides of nitrogen. Keep the heading, oxides of nitrogen. Oxides of nitrogen. That means nitrogen and oxygen combination compounds. Nitrogen and oxygen combination products. So here, the first one I will discuss is dinitrogen oxide. So important concept this is, listen carefully. The preparation, they say it is their preparation methods or their structures. So based on preparation and structural based questions are normally coming from this area. So the first oxides of nitrogen in that first one is dinitrogen oxide. Dinitrogen oxide. So what is the formula of this? N2O is the formula. Okay. So how to prepare this? What is the oxidation state of nitrogen in this? If you calculate 2 times of X plus oxygen normally shows -2 is equal to 0. So X is equal to how much you are going to get? +1. So what is a nitrogen oxidation state? +1. I am writing on nitrogen head. +1 is the oxidation state. So it's a preparation method. This is a general formula of it. Next, preparation. It is mainly prepared from ammonium nitrate, NH4NO3 decomposition. If you take out N2O, what is left there? 2 moles of H2O is left. Okay. Here, now we'll write its structure. Okay. If this is the structure, on this nitrogen, you have 2 lone pairs. On this oxygen, 2 lone pairs. So it's a resonance structure if we will write. This arrow we are using. With 3 bonds and with only 1 bond. And this oxygen carries 2 lone pairs, 3 lone pairs. This oxygen is carrying 3 lone pairs. So if you take its structure, normal structure, NNO is like this. Okay, here nitrogen bond and the nitrogen oxygen bond is there. And if you see its structure, it is in a linear form. So what is the bond angle you are going to get? Linear means 180 is the bond angle. And here bond lengths, you don't need to remember them. Bond lengths, mostly they don't ask. The structure is important anyway. 113 picometers and 119 picometers. Okay, so this is the structure of dinitrogen oxide, and its property, if you see, it is a colorless. It is a colorless gas, and its nature is neutral. It is a neutral oxide, neither acidic nor basic. Neutral oxide it is. Okay. Just note on this. It's about dinitrogen oxide. Okay. Next, we will talk about nitrogen monoxide. What is the formula of this nitrogen monoxide? NO. What is the formula of nitrogen monoxide? NO. And oxidation state is +2. Which oxidation state? Nitrogen oxidation state. Its preparation method we'll see. I'll write, it's a big equation. Sodium nitrate on reaction with FeSO4 in the presence of sulfuric acid, H2SO4. Okay. You are going to get Fe2SO4 taken thrice and 2 moles of NaHSO4 plus here 2NO and 2H2. So in this equation, I'll write like this. This complete equation is giving these products. Okay, your main product is this one, nitrogen monoxide. Its oxidation state is +2. After oxidation finding, it's a preparation method, then it's a structure and it's a nature that we'll see now. So here, this one, it's a structure if you observe, nitrogen, oxygen, okay, and it is carrying 1 lone pair. Normally oxygen carries 2 lone pairs. Power of, what happened? Can you see the word? No, right? Sir, power by how? Class మధ్యలో ఉన్నా. Bhavyasri, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You can't see the board now, right? Clarity. Can you see the board now? Is that clear?
Yes, sir, somewhat.
Somewhat okay. You are able to read this. No, it's fine.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, look at this. It is having, so nitrogen generally have 5 electrons, and that one single electron will present on this. Okay, this is one way of writing it. This single electron may be on nitrogen or may be shifted to oxygen. So if you write its resonance structure, you will get another possibility like this. Nitrogen is having 2 lone pairs, 1 lone pair, oxygen is having 2 lone pairs, and this extra electron, this is called odd electron. That means odd electron means single electron. Okay, that electron may be on oxygen, may be on nitrogen. So you will get this type of possibility. So due to the presence of this single electron, due to single unpaired electron, it is paramagnetic. Due to single unpaired electron, it acts as a paramagnetic substance. Okay. Now its structure, if you observe, it is like this. That means linear again. It is having linear property, and the bond length between nitrogen and oxygen is 115 picometers. It is also a colorless gas. It is also colorless gas and neutral. It is a neutral oxide again. Okay. You can see the board now clearly, right? So it is a nitrogen, between nitrogen and oxygen. What is the length you have? 115 picometers. 115 picometers. Next, we'll talk about dinitrogen trioxide. Third one. I'm writing the third one. Dinitrogen trioxide. Dinitrogen N2 trioxide O3. Okay. Nitrogen monoxide on reaction with N2O4, you will get N2O3 2 moles. At I think at very high temperature. At high temperature, N2O3. This is bench 4 plus 6. Okay, right? So if you observe its structure, after preparation structure, here each oxygen carries 2 lone pairs, and this nitrogen carries 1 lone pair, and this oxygen carries 3 lone pairs, because it is having only one bond. If you calculate its formal charge, you will get as -1. Okay. Now it's a resonance structure. If you want to write, just shift 1 electron here, and here double bond becomes single bond. In that case, shall we write like this? This is as it is. Here double bond becomes single bond, and oxygen, instead of 2 lone pairs, now 3 lone pairs. And now here this oxygen gets 2 lone pairs. And if you observe, they are having NNOO. Okay. Bond lengths I will write. Bond lengths. Here, this bond length is 114 picometers, and this bond length is 186. Here, the bond angle I will write first. The bond angle is 130 degrees, and here it is 186 picometers. And this bond length, NO bond length, is 121 picometers. And here the bond angle is 105 degrees. So 2 different bond angles, 130 and 105. You have 2 different bond lengths. 186, and this is 114 picometers. Look at this, 1, 2, 3 types of bond lengths. This is 121, this is 186, this is 114. Two different bond angles, 130 and 105. And now it is, if you observe this nitrogen, which geometry it is having? Planar, planar, that means trigonal planar. So I'll write here, it is having a planar geometry. Planar geometry. And due to the more number of oxygen, it acts as acid, and it is a blue color solid. N2O3, dinitrogen trioxane is a blue color solid, and it is acidic oxide. It is a acidic oxide. So these are the important points of dinitrogen. So their preparation method, its structure, geometry, and nature. Three things you must practice while reading this. It's a preparation method, structural study. No need to figure out these double bond lengths and all this. Don't worry about this. Just try to draw the structure. Proper structure is enough. Okay. And which geometry it is having and its nature. So 4 things you have to be careful. So after dinitrogen trioxide, what is the oxidation state? We forgot to do oxidation state of it. How much you are going to get? +3 is oxidation state. If you calculate oxidation, 2x plus 3 times of -2. X is equal to how much? +3. So the nitrogen oxidation state is how much? +3. So after dinitrogen trioxide, we'll move to 4th one. Nitrogen dioxide. So what is the formula of nitrogen dioxide? NO2. Is it clear? And what is the oxidation state of nitrogen in this? +4. Nitrogen dioxide oxidation state is +4. And its preparation method, if you say, it is prepared from lead nitrate, PbNO3 taken twice at a high temperature, 673 kelvins. You will get 4 moles of NO2 plus 2 PbO plus oxygen gas release. So it is a brown color gas. So its properties I am writing. So that will write later. First write the structure, NO2. So how many electrons on nitrogen? 5 electrons should be there. And here 3, 1, 2, 3 are over. And 1 extra electron comes here. So total this oxygen carries 3 lone pairs and it is having a odd electron. So due to the presence of odd electron, it acts as a paramagnetic substance. So if you write its resonance structure, earlier this oxygen is having double bond. Now that oxygen will have single bond with 3 lone pairs. And on the other side, the single bond become double bond with 2 lone pairs of oxygen, and the nitrogen single electron is as it is. So if you take its structure, the common form of this structure, oxygen, nitrogen, oxygen, and what type of geometry it is having? Angular. Which shape it is having? It is having angular shape. And the bond angle, if you take 130 picometers, sorry, 134 degrees, 134 degrees. And here bond length, nitrogen oxygen bond length is 120 picometers. Okay, it means here this oxygen, sometimes they will stress you like this. Nitrogen oxygen bond lengths are different in the structure or same bond length. Here these 2 resonance structures were given to you. In that, oxygen nitrogen bonds in this nitrogen dioxide are having same bond length or different bond length. So if you take this first resonance structure, it is a double bond, it is a single bond. So you feel that Due to the double bond and single bond, bond lengths may be different. This also shows the two different bond lengths, but it's a resonance structure. It is a hybrid structure of these two resonance structures. This indicates that this double bond is not fixed on to these two atoms. It may changes from between these two to between these two atoms. So it is not fixed. That's what nitrogen and oxygen bond lengths are same here. Though we have two oxygens with bonded with nitrogen, they both have same type of bond length. So here both nitrogen, both I am writing here, both NO bond lengths, both NO bond lengths are same. How much it is? 120 picometers. So this is about nitrogen dioxide, and its a property. It is a brown color gas. It is a brown color gas. It is acidic in nature. It is acidic oxide. And other one is due to the presence of this unpaired electron, due to odd electron, it is paramagnetic. Due to odd electron, it is paramagnetic. Okay, note down that structure. This is about nitrogen dioxide. Next one, we'll talk about dinitrogen tetroxide, which was, what is the number? Fifth one. Dinitrogen tetroxide. What is the formula name dinitrogen tetroxide? N2O4. What is the oxidation state of nitrogen? How much you are going to get? +4. 2 moles of this, nothing but nitrogen dioxide, dinitrogen tetroxide. If you multiply this formula with 2, you will get N2O4. That's why same oxidation state you are getting, right? So it's a preparation method if you see. 2 moles of NO2 on cooling, you will get N2O4. Simple method of preparation. On simple cooling of 2 moles of NO2, you will get N2O4. If you heat this sample, you will get back your NO2. So that's a preparation method. Next one, if you talk about its structure, 2 nitrogens and 4 oxygens, right? So here, this double bonded oxygen always carry 2 lone pairs. Single bonded oxygens carry 3 lone pairs. Total 3 lone pairs. It can be different. Both double bonds are upside. You can also change this. One is upside, other one is downside. Like this. Anyway, the situation is same. Single bonded oxygen carries 3 lone pairs and double bonded oxygen carries 2 lone pairs. Are you listening, guys and girls? Please respond. Are you sleeping, all of you? Yes, are you listening? You're able to see the board clearly? Bharat Chandra?
Sir.
Are you listening, guys?
Yes, sir.
So if you write, it's a hybrid structure. Oxygen, 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 oxygen. Now look at this. Is this nitrogen having 3 sigma bond? This is also having 3 sigma bond. That means what is the geometry of this? Trigonal planar, or simply they sometimes use planar. That means its hybridization is what? sp2 hybridization, isn't it? So here bond angles, if you write, it is 135 degrees, and this side it is 175 picometers, this bond length, and this bond length is 121 picometers. It is having planar geometry. And dinitrogen tetroxide is a colorless, here the point, it is a colorless solid, and sometimes it is also available in liquid form also. So due to the highest oxidation state and more number of oxygens, it also acts as acidic oxide of nitrogen. Acidic oxide means what? If it is a neutral, it will produce neutral molecules on hydrolysis. Acidic oxide means on hydrolysis of that compound, it will produce acids. That's what acidic. Okay, what is stand by this? Acidic means on hydrolysis of N2O4, it produces acidic compounds. Acidic compounds like HNO3. It will produces HNO3 on hydrolysis. That's what it is named as acidic oxide. Their hydrolysis products are acids. Okay, that is the reason why they act as acidic oxide. And the last nitrogen oxide is dinitrogen pentoxide. Dinitrogen pentoxide. So here dinitrogen pentaoxide, 5 oxygens. Okay, are you listening, Abhignya? Abhignya, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Are you there? Okay. N2O5, if you take this, what is the oxidation state of nitrogen? Calculate, please, tell me. And its preparation method, 4 moles of HNO3 on reaction with P4O10, it will give you N2O5 2 moles plus 4 moles of HPO3. Okay, what is the oxidation state? Have you calculated this?
+5, sir.
+5 you are going to get, right? That's fine. Next, N2O5. Okay, here if you observe this N2O5, okay, 2 nitrogens. So shall I write like this? Simple. Okay, it is not an equation, just for our understanding person. 2 moles of NO2 is joined by 1 oxygen. Write one NO2 structure. This is another NO2 structure. NO2. These two were joined by 1 bridged oxygen. That becomes your N2O5 structure. Okay. So here always single bonded oxygen 3 lone pairs, and double bonded oxygen 2 lone pairs. The middle oxygen 2 lone pairs. Okay, so this is the structure of it. You can also change this double bond nature. Now both the double bonds are upside. So one double bond downside, one double bond upside. Like that also you can write. So nitrogen bridged with another oxygen. Now here I'll write oxygen, and this side double bonded oxygen downside. Look at this. One is upside, one is downside. 3 lone pairs. Here 2 lone pairs. This oxygen 2 lone pairs. And here this oxygen, how many lone pairs? 3 lone pairs. If you observe this structure, okay, so if you simply write this, it's a hybrid resonance formula. Oxygen, nitrogen, oxygen, oxygen. And this is connected to nitrogen, oxygen, oxygen. Okay. If you observe this nitrogen, nitrogen is having which geometry? Planar geometry. This nitrogen is also having planar geometry. But if you take this oxygen, oxygen is having which type of geometry? Angular shape. Okay, N2O5 is having two different geometries based on this. It is a planar, trigonal planar. This nitrogen is also trigonal, but the central oxygen is having angular shape. Okay, so this structure is important. Here, this is 151 picometers. It is this one is 119 picometers, and this is 134 degrees bond angle. This angular is 1112 degrees. Enough. So here, this dinitrogen pentoxide is a colorless solid. It is a colorless solid. And another important one is due to more number of oxygens and in its highest oxidation state, it acts as strong. It is a strong acidic oxide. So while studying these structures, what do you need to remember? First, preparation method. Second one, structure. Third one is the structural based questions like geometry, hybridization, these things, geometry and hybridization, and their nature, acidic or basic, like this, acidic, basic or neutral. So in all nitrogen oxides, in all type of nitrogen oxides, their preparation method, it's a structural based questions like geometry and hybridization. Next, nature, acidic, basic or neutral. So these things you have to be careful. While reading, you have to practice more on these 3 points. So for every structure you have drawn, their preparation method, structural based questions and nature. So read in this way. Okay. So this is about nitrogen oxides, complete about nitrogen oxides. So in the tomorrow class, we'll start another important nitrogen compound. It is HNO3, nitric acid. Nitric acid. After nitric acid preparation and its chemical properties, nitrogen chemistry is over. Next, we'll move to its lower element. After that, nitrogen, what is there? Phosphorus. Phosphorus. Okay, its preparation methods and how many types of phosphorus are present, and their phosphorus oxides, phosphorus oxyacids, that and all we will discuss in the next class. Okay, I think time is up. So we will meet in tomorrow's session. All of you, thank you so much. Bye. Okay, guys, I'm leaving. Shall I rub this? You wanted to note it down? Yes? Sidhu. Sidhu, have you noted down these things? Smita, Varun Kumar. Okay, guys, note down then. I'll give you 1 minute to note it down. I think you have completed. Okay, Chandana, Priyanka, Samhita, Sidhu. Hey guys, please unmute your microphone. You're all busy writing. Okay then, please note it down. Thank you all of you. I'm signing off.